What's up, guys? Today we're not doing a review on the Segelei Mini 30 watt or the Cloupor Mini 30 watt. We're gonna do a head-to-head with both of them and let's see which one you guys think are better. Alright? So let's dive down close, let's check them both out, and let's see what you guys think. Oh yeah! Okay guys, so here we're up close with the Segelei Mini 30 watt and the Cloupor 30 watt. Let's see the difference between both of these two bad boys, okay? Because they're both awesome. First off, we got the 510 pin connection, okay? This 510 pin connection is adjustable, but it has to be hand done, okay? You have to adjust it yourself. This pin, it's automatic. It has spring-loaded adjustable 510 connection, okay? This one isn't. That's the first point, okay? But the juice control on both of them, if you use a tank that needs airflow from the bottom, both of them work flawlessly, okay? That's our first point. Okay, so, damn, sorry, these guys are all wet. Next, let's look at the menus, okay? Let me start out with the Segelei first, okay? So the Segelei, let me get close up on this guy. You guys see that? I'm gonna put a tank on it. Just so you guys can see it working with the tank. Okay? Adjustable 510, any addy you add on here works perfectly. You have no problems with it. You just put it on and it works perfectly. Okay? Now with the menu, press the fire button and it's telling me I have a 0.6 ohm. Can you guys see that? Let me see that. Come on, stay on. It has a 0.6 ohm, okay? And it's reading at 3.2 volts, 20 watts, okay? Now, what can we do with this menu? First hand, if you press the fire button and the plus button, PWM, it transforms it to PWM circuitry, which means that it's a pulse action fire button. When I press this fire button, it will do pulse, alright? It pulses the current to your addy. It's pulsing, okay? Press the fire button and the minus button, it goes back to DC. Okay, so now you have continuous power to your addy, okay, which everyone knows. You use mechanical mod or electronic mod, it's constant power to your addy, okay? If you press these buttons, nothing happens. That's about it, guys. You press your fire button, it tells you it's working at 0.6 ohms, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check it out. Yeah, 0.6 ohms, and it's working at 3.7 volts, alright? At 19.9 watts. Okay? Let me take a hit on this thing. I need to smoke. Okay, guys. Now, let's go to the Cloupor Mini and let's put an addy on it. Bear with me, guys. I'm going to show you what this means. Telling you that I'm putting one addy on one addy on the other. I'll show you this in a second, alright? Let's check the minis first. Okay, so I press the fire button and it says, can you guys see that? It's saying 5.8 ohms, okay? and it stays on longer. That's one thing. It's the menu stays on longer. 0.58 ohms, and I'm working at, when I fire, 3.42 volts at 20 watts. Okay. Now, if I press the plus and the fire button, it changed. Left, right mode. Alright? Now right, left mode. Okay, so I can change the screen from one side to the other, which Sigelei cannot do. Okay? Sigelei doesn't do that. If I press the minus button and the fire button, it changes to volts, which Sigelei cannot do. Alright? So now, instead of being in watts, I'm controlling the volts. 7 volts, I can go all the way down. Let me press both of these buttons and I'll show you what that is after. Okay. The plus button is up 7 volts, which is maximum it can expect, is 7 volts. I can go all the way down to, I can't remember, you guys will see it, I think 3.5 volts. 3.6 volts, alright? And I can go all the way up to 7 volts. If I want to work with volts, I'll work with volts. If I want to work with watts, I'll work with watts, okay? Now to change it back to watts, I press the minus button and the fire button. And I have watts again, 20 watts, okay? Fire at that. Awesome, right? Okay. So, the Sigelei cannot do watts and change it down to volts. The Sigelei cannot change the screen from right to left. Okay? The Sigelei cannot lock in my mod. Alright, so let's say I want 20 watts. And if I press it, it's locked in. Now I'm working at 20.1 watts. Okay, if I fire, it works at that. If I press any button to go up and down, it's locked at 20.1 watts. Okay, Sigelei doesn't do that, but Sigelei does have memory, 5 memories. Okay, the Cloupor does not have memories, but I can lock in the wattage I want. Okay, Sigelei can't do that. Sigelei won't change the screen from one side to the other, and it will not change from watts to volts. Okay, that's the difference between both of these screens. Is that on the Cloupor, I can change screen from right to left. I can lock the screen on the wattage that I want, and I can change from watts to volts. The Cloupor does not have, it has adjustable 510, but it's not spring loaded. You have to get a screwdriver and fix your 510 pin with a screwdriver, okay, a Phillips screwdriver. This one is spring loaded, so it's automatic. Any single addy you add on here, it will enter flush, okay? This one does not enter flush. The Sigelei, any 22 millimeter tank you put on top of this looks awesome, okay? The Cloupor, not that awesome. On the sides, it's perfect, but here you have a gap, okay? That's the difference. The battery, they both take the battery. They both have magnetic backs. Okay, you just pull this one down and take it out. You have magnets on the back, okay, and put it back in. The Sigelei, you pick up this part and you have magnets also, okay? So loading your battery is exactly the same on both of them, okay? Now you have your mini USB charger. On the Segelei, the only thing you can do with the Segelei is charge your battery. You cannot bypass and vape on it, but you can recharge your battery with the Segelei. With the Cloupor Mini, you can recharge your battery and you can vape on it at the same time you're recharging your battery, okay? Battery vent holes, the only one Cloupor has is where your negative post is from your battery, okay? On the Segelei, you have vent holes on the side for your battery, okay? And that's about it, guys. Close up and personal on both of them from the menus. I think I explained exactly every single difference there is between one and the other. Now it's like this. If you're at work and they do let you vape, like you work in an office, and you forget batteries at home or something, and you have your only one battery inside your mod, and you have a USB cable from your iPhone or whatever you want, you hook it up to your computer, you can still vape with the Cloupor, okay? With the Segelei, if you forgot your batteries at home, you can charge it, but you can't vape on it at the same time. You're gonna have to wait 2 or 3 hours or 4 to get your fully charged battery so you can vape it again, okay? So, between one and the other, I hope I got some of your doubts out about how each one of these work. So let's go back up. I'm going to vape on both of them. I'm going to explain a little bit more differences that both of them have. And you guys are going to decide which one is better for you, okay? So let's go back up. Let's vape on them. Let's chat about them. See you guys. Okay, guys. So let's do a size comparison to start out with. Segelei Mini and the Cloupor Mini. The Cloupor is a lot smaller, okay? Side to side, they're exactly the same, but the Cloupor is smaller, okay? Now, which one, besides everything I told you guys, which it depends on you guys, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I love both of them. If I lost this one today, I'd buy another one tomorrow. If I lost this one today, I'd buy another one tomorrow. But there is a big flaw on one of them. Might be a flaw for me and not a flaw for you. Okay? It depends. They're both really good. And from what you saw from the menus, this one has a lot more functions than this one. Okay? But there's one thing that puts me personally apart from the other one, which is this one can read down to 0.45 ohms, okay, coil. This one goes down to 0.30 ohms coil. If you love the sub-ohm, which I do, and I'm used to a mechanical mod, okay, who doesn't want a mechanical mod that wants battery protection, reverse battery protection, heat protection, one or the other, they're exactly the same what I'm talking about, okay? Battery protection, heat protection, resistance protection, they're both the same. But you cannot build a coil lower than 0.45 ohms. And this one goes to 0.30, but you must say 0.30 to 0.45 is not a big difference. Okay. For you guys that like the Kangertech sub-tank, which I do, I love it. I don't have it yet, but I am going to get one. I do have other tanks which are sub-ohm, but let's go with the Kangertech. That you don't want to build your own coils, they're already built, alright, and you just want to change the coil and put a new coil in. It's 0.5 ohms. This one could read it, and this one could read it. But that's not how it goes. If this little mini Cloupor could read 0.45 ohms, it would be awesome. You can put your Kangertech mini sub tank on it, but you can't. All right, that's the only problem I have with this little Cloupor. It's a problem for me. It might not be a problem for you. Like I said again, I would buy this one and I would buy this one. I don't have a Kangaroo sub-ohm tank, okay? But if you do, you're not going to want to buy this little mini Cloupor, which is smaller than this one with all the functions that I showed you. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to take out this little RDA, and I'm going to put it on the ohm reader, okay? So I'm going to put on the ohm reader, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I hope you guys will understand, because I can't explain it any other way. I tried to make a coil with a 24 gauge, which is the lowest I have, 24 gauge nickel Canthal wire with 6 wraps, okay? This is reading at 0.67, okay? Which you guys can read that, right? 0.67. It's a 24 gauge Canthal wire, 6 wraps. It's 0.67 ohms. If I put on my Cloupor, which is awesome, the Cloupor can read from 0.58, 59, 6.0, 6.1, 6.2. The Segelei can't. Segelei will read 0.6. If it's 0.68, it will read 0.6. If it's 0.4, it will read 0.6. It won't change. The Cloupor would read 0.67, 0.66, 0.65. It reads it all. But you read here, it was 0.67, okay? And if I put on my Cloupor, it's going to read I hope you guys can see this. .58, okay? It's 0.58. I hope you guys can see this. What does that mean? It has an error of 0.09 positive on your coil, which means if you put a 0.50 ohm coil on this, it's going to read it as 0.41 ohms, which means the Cloupor cannot read your sub-ohm tank, okay? Because it only reads down to 0.45, which your coil is 0.5, but since it has a lapse of 0.09, it won't read as 0.5, it's going to read as 0.41. Okay, so if you have a Kangaroo sub-ohm, the Cloupor isn't going to read it because it has an error of 0.09 ohms. Okay, that's the biggest flaw I find on this Cloupor Mini, which is, it's disappointing. I mean, I love it, I vape on it. You saw it, I had a 0.58 coil on it, 0.67, yeah, 0.67 ohm coil on it, and it vapes because it's reading at 0.58, okay? $20. Okay, 30 watts is awesome. For a little device, it's awesome. Now I'm going to take this coil and I'm going to put it on top of the Segelei. Okay. I hope I explained it right to you guys. I was making fun in the beginning and playing around and shit, but this is serious, alright? I want you guys to understand this. I love both mods, the Segelei and the Cloupor, but if you do have a Kangaroo sub-ohm that reads 0.5 ohms, you're not going to read on the Cloupor, okay? That's the basic facts. Now if I put it on the Segelei, which doesn't read the 0.10, it only reads 0.1, but still, it's going to tell you it's 0.6. I can prove it to you. You guys see that? This is a 0.67 ohm coil, and it reads it at 0.67 ohm coil. Okay, it reads it. If you put your Kangaroo sub-ohm tank on it at 0.5, it's gonna read it. And even if it didn't, even if it went down to 0.45, it will still read it, because this little device here can read down to 0.3 ohms. Okay, and the Cloupor can. It's 0.45 with a 0.09 ohm difference up, which means the lowest this guy can read on a Kenthal wire, to be honest, it's not 0.45, it's 0.54 ohms. Okay, it's still a great device. I mean, it's awesome. It's really small. If you do a 0.6 ohm coil, it's awesome. 20 watts and 20 watts on this one is exactly the same. You're gonna notice a difference maybe a little bit, because don't forget, if I put a 0.6 ohm coil in this one and it's reading at 3.7 volts, which is a true 0.6 ohm build, 3.7 volts. This one is going to read at 0.5 ohm build. It's not going to be 3.7 volts. It's going to be like 3.5 volts. Alright, so it's not going to have as much power as this one. We're talking about 20 watts. So if you boost it up to 22 watts, it's going to be exactly the same as this one. Okay? I hope you guys understood this. I really needed to make this video to explain to you guys, because people are talking about this guy burning in your hands and stuff. That's not the problem with the Cloupor, okay? The Cloupor is really awesome, and as any electronic device, like if you buy a DVD player, if you buy a microwave oven, if you bought a mini DVD player, you guys remember like 10 years ago when the first DVD players, not first, but the DVD player that came out that would read MPEG, that we would copy a movie and put it on DVD and it would read MPEG? There was a device called Denver, okay? Denver, I used to work in an electronics store, and Denver, every 10 boxes of a Denver, maybe 3 of them were working and 7 weren't working. It should happen to a vaporizer, because if it blew up in my face, man, it's not the same thing as a DVD player. I understand that, but it's electronic, okay? Electronics could have problems, but thank God they fixed that in the first batch. It's not going to happen anymore. But besides that happening, which won't happen, I can tell you, I charge this battery through the USB port on my portable computer, and I vape on it, and I have no problems. It never heated up. I don't have any problems with it. The only problem I have is with the coil. If you do put a Kangaroo sub-ohm on this, it won't read it, because it doesn't read right. It has a difference of 0.09 difference. And if the sub-tank is 0.5 ohms or 0.5 ohms, it's going to read it as 0.01 ohm. It's going to read it as 0.41 ohm. Okay, and it don't read that low. It only reads between 0.45 ohms. So your sub-tank won't work. So I hope I explained a lot to you guys. If you don't have a Kangaroo sub-tank, this is awesome, man. I mean, I love it. I swear to God, if I lost this today, I would buy another one. And if I lost this one today, I would buy another one. I have a blue one and I have a red one. I love them. I have 2 of them. But this guy, 0.3 ohms, it reads everything, okay? It's a little bit bigger. And I like this little guy. It's in the hand, I mean, you don't even see it, okay? It's awesome. I mean, it's an awesome little device. It's perfect. And it blows the clouds. Let me show you guys again on the Cloupor. But I just wanted to get it out there that between that problem that they were burning the battery or whatever, it's gone, alright? It happens to a lot of electronics, which they fixed it because they noticed that this is an ordinary electronic device. It's a vaping device where it's close to my face and I don't want it to blow up in my face, right? So they fixed it. That's not the problem with the Cloupor. If you don't vape sub-ohm, dudes, buy it because it's fucking awesome. Okay, if you do want a sub ohm, guys, then go. If you want a little device, then go for the Segelei. This costs 38 euros. This costs 42 euros. This is all made in metal. This is made in aluminum. Okay, this is a lot heavier than this one. Well, not a lot, but yeah, it's heavier because it's metal. Okay, but if you can vape at work, this device will be better for you than this one. Okay, because I can be charging it and vaping at the same time. I can do volts if I want to do volts. With the Segelei, can't do that. And if you want to change the screen from one side to the other, you can change it. And if you want to block the watts you're working at or volts, it will block your watts or volts, which this one can't do that. So that's why I said it was a head-to-head, because there's people for this device and there's people for this device. You guys are going to decide. I love both of them. Now, one is better than the other. It's not, because they're exactly the same, but one has more functions, the other one has less. This one has the 0.3 ohm reader, and this one is 0.45, which is actually 0.54 ohms. Okay, let's take a vape on it. It's locked. It's at 20 watts. 20 watts, guys, at 0.58, which is actually a 0.47 ohm build. Okay. Okay, it's not reading it. Damn it. Because I have to adjust the settings by hand. It's not automatic like the Segelei. But that you do when you put the atomizer on top of it. That's not my problem. The only problem that I have is a reading. But if I put this on straight, it's a great vape, guys. I mean, it's soft. It's like continuous. It's a continuous vape. Like, it starts getting hotter after. I really like that. You don't see it in the hand, like it's hidden. Okay, it's like. It's stealth mode. I mean, it's awesome. I love this little device. I really love it. But for you sub-ohmers, it's not going to be good for you. But if you don't sub-ohm, damn, it's awesome, man. 26 gauge, 24 gauge with 5 or 6 wraps. Not dual coil, just one coil. I'll show you guys that also. I only have it on one side. Okay, that's what I have. Okay, it works awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful for you guys that are between the Cloupor and the Segelei. If you guys enjoyed my video, give me a like. If you guys aren't subscribed to my channel, I hope you guys subscribe, because I'm going to have a lot more videos in English. And that's it. Like I said, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, okay? Me and the Cloupor and the Segelei are out, guys. See you next time.